See you again. I told those guys they're going to miss a great press conference downstairs. Oh, no, I don't mean my team. I mean the reporters that are all waiting to get in the locker room.
Start.
I told them I'm not repeating myself. It's 11:30. So they
Please
better-
note that the UConn locker room is now open to the media. We're
ass up
joined
here.
currently by head coach Geno Auriemma and eventually by student athletes Nika and AZ Fudd. We will begin with a opening comment from the head coach.
Well, there was a there was a period of time during that game where I thought we're really in big trouble because we were having so much trouble executing the defensive game plan that we wanted. So that whole first half was a struggle. And we came out in the second half. And I don't think there was ever a time when I didn't think we would win the game. And the change in our players and the defensive changes that we made and the intensity level that we played at is probably one of the more gratifying wins that I've had in this building. And obviously these two are a big reason why. But that was pretty amazing. How many threes did they make? 12? Jesus Christ. They made 26 threes in 2 days? Maybe 14 the other day? Oh, we did a great job then. We held them to 12. Wow. They're averaging 6 a game. This is what happens in the NCAA tournament. A lot of home teams get beat during the NCAA tournament. So much for home court advantage, right?
We will now take questions for the student athletes only. If time allows, we'll follow up any virtual questions. For the in-person folks, please wait until the microphone is handed to you to ask your question and identify yourself and your affiliation.
Pat Eaton-Rob with the Associated Press. AZ, since coming back from the injury, you had struggled to find your shot, and then all of a sudden in the third quarter, it seemed you found it after Aaliyah went out. Was it a matter of knowing that you had to take this team on your back at that point, or what led you to finding your shot?
I definitely wouldn't say taking the team on my back. I think everyone played an incredible role tonight, but I think just keeping that mindset of being aggressive and having my teammates and the coaches continuing to remind me to don't stop shooting, keep looking for your shot. So I think that's what it was.
Maggie Venoni from CT Insider. For either one of you, Aubry came out today and just lit a spark. What does that say about her, even though she's been dealing with this back spasm now for about a couple of weeks?
I mean, Aubry was just incredible, and it's like, you guys know that she's dealing with back spasm and all that, but behind the scenes, just like to see her go through stuff like that every day and still show up in practice. And I talked to her the other day. I said, if you playing games for us means not practicing for the rest of the year, that's fine with me. And she still shows up every day, and she still goes through it, and she, does her rehab, and, Janelle is doing a great job with her. And she comes in and plays like that, and for the last time here at Gampel this year, I mean, that just speaks on how big of a person she is first and how unselfish she is for our team. And, I mean, if I could say who was the MVP of the game today, that was definitely Aubry.
Nika, Vicky Fulkerson from the New London Day in Connecticut. When Aaliyah went out with her third foul at the end of the first half and then her fourth foul earlier in the third quarter, how did you dig down deep and rearrange and get it done without her on the floor?
I mean, I think Dorka stepped up amazing for Aaliyah when she got in foul trouble. You know, Aaliyah just plays with so much passion. I think the Baylor team, you know, had some floppers out there. It's okay. You know, it happens. I flop too sometimes, so it's nothing new. But Aaliyah plays with so much passion, you know, and not having her on the floor, definitely, you know, it's hard without her because she's a player that we can count on every second, offense, defense. But Dorka, she stepped up so much today, and, you know, she played so many more minutes than usual. And I think she, you know, even when she's tired, like she was tired today, she just kept her pace, and, you know, she kept being focused. She talked to all of us. Her communication was amazing today on defense, and, you know, she stepped up big time, and that's what we expect of her as a senior, and she delivers every time.
Lila Bromberg with the Hartford Current. Nika, you guys have talked about how just having Azzi's presence back on the floor changes so much with, you know, spacing, confidence, but when she's hitting shots like she was in the second half, just how much of a boost does that give you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it 100 times, like, Azzi's trying to be humble here, but if she misses 100 shots that game, I would still get her, you know, the last shot for the win, and that's how good of a shooter she is, and she's definitely the best shooter that I've ever played with. Her shot is perfect. Her confidence is huge, and even when she misses those shots, we know it's gonna be a good miss, and that's what's important for us, you know, to get those good misses so our bigs can rebound the ball like Aubry did today, which was huge for us. And, you know, Azzi got hot today, and I can't wait can't wait to see what she's gonna do for the rest of the tournament because it's only the beginning from here.
Megan Gower, her hoop stats. Nika, you guys have played in a lot of close games this year. You know, you were down early on, close game at the half. How does what you've been through this year help prepare you for these moments in March, and so you know that you can kind of pull out the win?
I mean, honestly, I don't think there was a time in this game where I didn't think we was gonna win it. Just like the way we came out, even, you know, when they were hitting shots, when our defense wasn't the best, we knew we were gonna figure it out. And I think Coach did a great job, you know, on emphasizing what we need to do, and we spent so much time scouting them. Never underestimated them at any point. You know, Coach made a lot of changes during the game. We were there, we were listening, we were, you know, all focused, bought in. So I feel like he just keeps us together, and the only thing we have to do is listen and do it. And then, you know, we're confident that whatever happens is going to be our win.
I hope you all recorded that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say this again. So one time.
Because none of it's true.
Alexa Philp with ESPN. For both of you, just given all the adversity you faced this season, Azzi being out for so long, Nika having to kind of corral the team throughout such a tough stretch, to be able to go out this way at Gampel for the last game of the season with the crowd and just the energy and the way that you guys won, and to be able to make the Sweet 16 even though you have larger goals, like what did that moment really mean for you?
Tonight was incredible. I mean, the fans, we can always count on the fans, the students to come out and give us the energy we need, the hype we need. So I thought that this was the best game possible to kind of leave it at Gampel, especially for our seniors. But I thought this was a great game. They made it tough, but the fans just made it amazing.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Last question for the student athletes here in the corner.
So, Azzi, it looked like Carol at one point was feeling a little dizzy out there, and Lou was dealing with stuff, and obviously Aubry would go out and put that wrap around her, and you're coming off an injury. Can you just talk about the mental toughness of you guys to overcome injuries and what the mindset is when you're clearly not 100% out there on the court?
I think our mindset is to kind of just stay together. I mean, all of us are going through stuff, whether it's stuff you can see, stuff you can't see. Everyone on the team has their own, I don't want to say issues, but everyone has their issues at this time of year. No one is 100%. So I think just staying together, holding each other accountable, but being there for each other to pick each other up, help each other when it's needed. I think that's our biggest thing right now. And I think tonight we did a great job of being there for each other, stepping up, like literally on defense, offense. But I think that's something that we've gotten a lot better at as the season's gone on. We've had our ups and downs, is being able to hold, or being, what am I looking for?
You get it.
Being able to know that we can count on each other, knowing that Nika's gonna be there for me when I need her, and I don't need to like feel bad about like asking her when I need help, that kind of thing.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Is it still a flop when you run into somebody that in the NFL would be a 15-yard penalty? Is that still a flop?
And now we will have questions for head coach.
Hey, Coach T. Baker with the Next. You mentioned that this win is one of the more gratifying wins in your career. Could you just say a bit more about that and what made this so special tonight?
Well, obviously, there have been a lot of great wins here in this building. A lot of heartbreaking losses as well. It's funny, there was a game against Toledo here in the NCAA tournament, and we had never been to the regionals. And we got a three-point play from Kerry Bascom with like 10 seconds left to win it, to go to our first regional. And I thought, you know, nothing will ever top that. But in all these other games since then, pretty much, you know, we've kind of been expected to win. We've been expected to do, you know, UConn things. And, you know, we usually come into this tournament, you know, we got everybody healthy for the most part. We're rolling, and we just storm through the tournament, you know. And this year, none of that was true. You know, everything was a struggle. Everything was hard. And for us to be in the position that we're in, to go to the same place where so many other UConn teams have gone, yet having gone through so much more, I think, than any other UConn team has had to go through. I was really proud of them because I've been through a lot of these, but they haven't. So to see them feel that, what it feels like, I mean, this is why we do what we do, right? You know, I'm out there, I'm coaching like I'm trying to get to our first regional ever. And in some ways, I am, you know? Because Lou's never been to one. And those are the kind of things that make this job rewarding. But Nika balances all that out.
Lila Bromberg with the Hartford Courant. Geno, just how was Aubry Griffin that X factor for you guys tonight, and how impressive is it that she was able to do that after dealing with the back spasms in recent weeks and only playing, you know, less than 6.5 minutes last game?
Well, she didn't practice since the Big East tournament. She's hardly practiced at all. And you know, we were hoping we didn't need her on Saturday, and we actually even sat down today, and Jamel said, "Man, wouldn't it be great if, you know, we played so well that Aubry could play a limited amount of minutes, because we're really, really, really going to need her going forward." And as it turned out, you know, Baylor was just too good, and we needed everything that Aubry could give us. And I made a point to tell the entire team, you know, Aubry scored 4 points and completely dominated the game. So that's a lesson to everybody that, you know, you don't have to go out there and shoot every time you touch it to impact the game. I mean, AZ does, but that's her job. But not only that, and she, I think, came in third in the Tour de France because she spent so much time on the bike over there when she wasn't in the game. Then one time he said, "Put Aubry in." I had to send like carrier pigeons to go find her. She was so far away from the damn bench. And so then it became, hey, look, if we're going to put Aubry in, we need to have somebody like on their way before we actually. I said, man, what do I got? ESP here. I know that in 4 minutes I'm going to need Aubry. So it was really, like kind of, jumbled up. But she would just sprint off that bike and run out there, and some of those rebounds were just absolutely classic. I mean, that's just. Some of it's God-given, some of it's just Aubry didn't want to lose tonight.
Maggie Vanoni, CT Insider, kind of following up on that. Aubry's dealt with confidence issues her whole career. How important do you feel like games like this are for her battle in that realm?
Yeah. When you have high expectations, you come from a family of high achievers, especially in the basketball world. I think you put a lot of unnecessary pressure on yourself sometimes, and you just want to be so good, so bad, that, when it doesn't quite go your way, you really get, into yourself and start being more critical of yourself than you need to be. And that's why pretty much during her career, Aubry's been, when it's going good, there's nobody better. And when it's not going good, there's nobody worse, because she beats herself up so much when it's not going good. So I think today, the biggest lesson today was, I don't need to be anything more than what I was tonight. I don't have to go out there and score every time I touch the ball, try to prove that I'm, good enough. There were a bunch of rebounds she got today where in the past, she would have turned around and forced something up there to try to prove a point, and she kicked them out a bunch of times. And she's just growing as a player, and as a person. And it's, if anybody has ever had back issues, and I think they were watching, obviously, our men's game last night, and they saw that kid go down, right? Just standing there, and the kid goes down. Aubry's going, oh, man. So it's not easy being in her situation, and she's growing up. She's growing up right in front of our eyes.
2 more questions.
Geno, Pat Eaton-Rob from the Associated Press. Aaliyah goes out with the 4 fouls. Azzi scored 16 points in the third quarter to kind of put this game away. Can you just talk about her coming back and finding that? And obviously she's a confident kid, but what does that mean for the team?
Today at shoot-around, I said to Morgan, and I said, I'm worried about Azzi because she's another one that puts a lot of pressure on herself. And in these games, she wants to make every shot. And she was 9 for 22. And I know that when she misses, she's like us and you. We're all incredulous that the ball didn't go in. And I think she takes it upon herself that I am who I am and I need to make every shot. That's why she spends hours and hours and hours out there, making 150 out of 175 threes or 150 out of 160, over and over and over and over again during the summer, because she wants to perfect it. So I said, I'm worried. I hope she gets off to a good start and she doesn't press a little bit. So in the third quarter, that's why I put her at the free throw line during that intentional foul. I needed to have her see the ball go in the basket, right? I mean, Lou's the one that got whacked in the face, and Lou's a really good free throw shooter, but it's like, Lou, sorry, we need Azzi to see the ball going in the basket. And in the third quarter, we did a lot to – usually we just run our stuff, we're kind of organically trying to get, people to do things and take advantage of what the defense is doing. But in that third quarter, we made a concerted effort to make sure she touched it in certain spots on the floor, and then she did the rest. And Nika's great at finding her no matter where she is. And she doesn't hesitate. She's from the Keisha Sales School of Interviews. She figures the less she gives you for an answer the less questions you ask her, as opposed to Nika just rambling on.
Last question.
Geno, kind of going off of that, AZ scored, 22 points, her most since November before she suffered the injury. Just what are your thoughts on how she's looking 5 games back, and what kind of confidence does that give you for you guys moving forward in the run that you guys can make?
Well, she missed, I don't know how many games and how much time, and played a couple games in the Big East tournament and practiced a little more. And here she is tonight, and she played 37 minutes. That's way more than I wanted her player. But at the same time, that just goes to show you how far she's come back and how she feels, and what a great job she's done rehabbing and getting stronger. There are not many players like AZ in the country. I think everybody knows that. That's one of the first things Nikki said after the game. She just shook her head and said, that kid's absolutely amazing. And I'm just glad she's healthy and can play, because I know, how much she's missed it. But the impact that she has on a game is just immeasurable, and the impact she has on the rest of our team, not just on winning that particular game. And for Aaliyah, for her to play the way she did, and after all those fouls and during all those fouls, for us to win, we have to have multiple players play really well. And I thought today, everyone that played really well. And that's when we're at our best. We can't go out there and win with 2 players playing well and 3 players struggling. We don't have that. That's not who we are. So when we get the balance that we got tonight, that's when we're a really, really good team.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, everybody.